Hello and welcome to Goddess Resurrection. My name is Britta and I am your host, and today's episode is on Let's Level Up. Welcome to the 8-8 portal. Welcome to the full moon in Aquarius, which is happening tomorrow, Saturday, August 9th. We'll be diving into a vibration activation for the new earth. This is going to be the foundation for the new earth format. Ongoingly, it's not dependent on today's 8-8 portal. It's not dependent on tomorrow's full moon. It's just that these 2 days, as well as the kites that are formed and the outer planets changing signs, everything is ringing in the new earth. I'm so excited. I've been so excited. I have been so in awe of this unfolding because, there's been times when I was like, oh no, what's going to happen now? Oh no, what's going to happen now? But here we are. We are anchored. We are anchored. We're anchored. Okay, we're here. It's happening. We're fully locked and loaded and ready to go. Super exciting, super exciting. And before we dive in, let me just say hello, my gorgeous. How are you? I hope you're breathing and feeling. And I've been also very grateful for all of you who are holding and have been holding the light and doing the work and trusting yourselves. So thank you. Thank you for your commitment to yourself. And so let's dive in. And I just want to explain a little bit about this foundational vibrational setup for the new earth. But before we dive in, I just want to address this moon tomorrow. And it all is the same. It all ties in, right? But this moon tomorrow is really just a lightning rod of change. Maybe you've been noticing yourself feeling different. Maybe you've been more in your worth. Maybe you've noticed that you're able to change ways because you're choosing your authority, because there's no other choice anymore. There is not even another choice but to choose yourself, but to choose your light, but to choose the path of rightness, but to choose the path of your soul's calling. And this full moon is also, such a door opener, not just to the new earth itself, but it's also the door opener for, so many new possibilities, right? Because remember, we are infinite possibilities incarnate. And so as these infinite beings that we really are, what this all means is we're just opening more to our true self, right? The veil is lifting. We are embodying more of our true selves, and therefore we're able to see more. So maybe you've been receiving visions. Maybe you've been feeling new ideas or dreams or ways of thinking coming online, right? Because it's really been this preparation time, and it's very palpable. It's very palpable, the change, the growth that is possible now as we are staying in this alignment. And the crux of this alignment is the heart. The heart is a prerequisite for the new earth. The heart is now going to be as a part of the new earth grid. The heart is what connects us, what interconnects us all through the heart chakra. We are interconnected. Every single one of us who is in their light alignment, right? In their healed, grounded, anchored in, higher dimensional connection. We'll get into those details in a second. Alignment will be one anchor point for the new earth. See, that's the beautiful thing about the new earth. And so let me jump in. This new earth is not to the side of the old earth. This new earth is in it, right? So the old earth is kind of like the structure. It's the foundation, because we're staying in these bodies, we're staying in these homes, in these cars, in these experiences, right? So the new earth is still within this old earth. You could have your own new earth experience where everything is going to start manifesting so much more easily and effortlessly, and you're going to be living a much more high vibrational experience versus where your neighbor could be living in such density. Yes, so this is all still a part of the format. It's just that you being one of the anchors of the new earth through your open heart, you walk in it. So you want to now think and feel and visualize yourself being one of the anchors, and you're walking in it, which means you're only choosing for your light. You're only choosing for your soul. You're only choosing for your rightness. And that's why the heart is so important, right? Because it is the centerpiece. The heart is the connectivity between heaven and earth, right? Because we're here now to walk in both worlds. We're now really here to be in both and present to both, right? So new earth doesn't mean we lose touch with the physical. New earth doesn't mean we lose sight of humanity, the earth, animals. No, not at all. On the contrary, it actually makes us even more connected. But it's in an elevated way. It is a way to see more through the eyes of your light. It is the ability to feel more the truth of what is happening within yourself, within your own life, and within the relationships and surroundings that are a part of your reality. And that's the other thing, right? Your reality is really going to start calibrating now, right? You are choosing your sovereign self. You're choosing to step into these bigger dreams, these bigger possibilities of that. Oh, all right. I can be my own authority. All right. I can trust. All right. I can just follow my heart, my soul, my truth, my light. And I'm so tapped in that all of the divine orchestration is just right there with you. Every step of the way, you know it, you feel it, you are it now. Right? That's the thing of the heart chakra. We're open into our divinity. We are now these divine beings that we really are, goddess in human form, very consciously, very actively playing these human characters. And so what I want to say here, and this is very important, is that anybody who's being in their masculine energy, and so this is same for male body or female body. It doesn't really matter, because masculine energy is masculine energy. And so if a woman chooses to be in her masculine energy, that's great. You know, perfect for you as your choice. And if a masculine is in his masculine energy, awesome, right? Now, here's the clincher. The heart needs to be open no matter what. Otherwise, as a female, you cannot be in your goddess embodiment without the open heart. You cannot be in the new earth connectivity without the open heart. The males, the masculines in the male bodies, same thing. Masculine that is not open through the heart, not listening to the heart, not balancing and honoring both head and heart, cannot be a part of this new earth grid or a divine masculine, right? A divine masculine has to feel fearlessly, has to be able to process all emotions, has to be in honor of his higher self guidance, right? Because if that weren't the case, then, you know, if we look back to leaders that were closed off in the heart, right? They were dictators. They weren't good leaders. And, you know, if we look at the example of a king that rules only from the head, usually was not a good ruler. A queen that had a closed heart, that was an ice queen, right? She was not a good ruler. Only a king or a queen that ruled with the head and the heart were the rulers, were the leaders that created abundance and life and growth. Right? Because when the heart isn't open and one does not know to feel and to listen to this heart's guidance, the sense of rightness, then the ego is able to take over completely. The ego is able to take over entirely, which then will create old earth, old paradigm dynamics. So make sure that today with this portal, and then tomorrow with this full moon, and then ongoing, that you start focusing onto your heart. What does it feel like when your heart is open? Are you feeling fearlessly? Are you connecting into your heart? Are you aware of your heart, right? And the other thing I also want to say is that this activation that we will be doing today is the foundation ongoing. It has nothing to do with today's portal. It has nothing to do with tomorrow's full moon, nothing to do with any and all of the other planetary placements that are happening right now. Of course, they're all activating it, but this vibration activation that we are working with today is the foundation moving forward. If I will be shown change, if I will be shown a new development, of course, I will update you. But as of right now, this is the way it's set up. So go ahead and come into your breath. Nice, easy, deep, slow, full in and exhales. And allow yourself to close your eyes if you want to, as from here in your mind's eye. And at this point, the third eye and the crown should have merged. At this point, the crown and the third eye chakra are the same, are one. You know, all of the chakras really begin to merge into one great big beam of light. But in order to be the distinction, let's go ahead and let's focus on the separate single chakras. So go ahead and open through your third eye and visualize yourself in this web. It's the crystalline grid of the new earth. And it's within everything that you know, but it's not touching it. It's almost touching it, but it's not quite touching it. So we're in it, but we're also in our own individual crystalline grid. Whatever that looks like to you, whatever that feels like to you. And then from here, go ahead and focus onto your root chakra, the first chakra that goes up and down, right? The first chakra is the red color. And that continues out through the base of your spine. And then through this base of your spine, through this red root chakra, it turns into a cord. This is the earth grounding cord, and this is the original umbilical cord. So go ahead and visualize your umbilical cord, your root chakra anchoring all the way down, 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 deeply down into Mother Earth through the layers of sand and dirt and gravel, all the way down, down into the centerpiece of Mother Earth, anchoring yourself in this body, in this earthly. Remember, we've spoken about be noble, for you are made of stars. Be humble, for you are made of earth. This is your earthly part, right? So these lower chakras are all about the earthly aspect of you. And so really take your time with that. See it red if it helps, right? Deeply anchoring in, grounding into the centerpiece of Mother Earth. This is your original umbilical cord. And then, of course, we have the crown chakra, same as the first chakra, the root going up and down, right? So the crown also goes up and down. In here now, go ahead and visualize, imagine, play make-believe if you have to, that your crown now opens through your higher chakra space, all the way through your higher chakra space, into and through your higher self, connecting all the way up through the highest parts of you into the higher frequencies, the higher dimensional planes. And then just below the ozone layer, that's where this replicates. So we have another access point. So you are, of course, all the way up into the higher dimensions. You are connected and you're open to that. See that, sense that, feel that, however high that feels comfortable for you, however vast that feels comfortable for you. It definitely reaches and extends much, much further than this universe, okay? But don't get caught up as to how far. Just allow yourself to be tapped into that highest part of your source self. Because then we're going to bring it back down, and then we're now going to focus on the layer that's just beneath the ozone layer, and it's kind of like the uterus. It's kind of like what we're birthing this within, what we are living within, right? Because remember, it's all an illusion. Even though we're becoming more and more of who we really are, it's still not who we are, right? We're playing human. We're just now remembering who we really are, and we're now able to more actively play these characters. We're now actively able to see the oneness that we really are, which quantum physics has been confirming for decades. Yes, we're able to be the souls, the light beings that we really are, while we're learning to control our human vessels, our earthly temples. So go ahead and see, sense, feel in your mind's eye this uterus lining. that we're in. It's almost like we're in in a container. And so, however that looks or feels to you, that uterine lining, that container lining is a mirror. It's a mirror and the same of the higher dimensional layers of consciousness. So we're able to tap into that. That's what we're anchoring into, but we're always, always, always also open to the highest dimensions of our soul self. So go ahead and see, imagine, visualize yourself tapping into this lining, this container, this uterine wall. And then let that, of course, form all the way surrounding Mother Earth. And so here now go ahead and tap into that, really hook into that uterine wall, really hook into that crystalline grid. All the information is there. It's also security, yes. And so then from here, go ahead and let that come right back down through your higher self, through your higher chakra space, through the crown. So you're linked into the higher consciousness, you're anchored into it. And so from here, go ahead and see this higher connection move down the back of your head into and through your spine. The same with the earth grounding cord up the first chakra, up the base of your spine, up the spine. And both parts are now meeting in your heart chakra. So you are your divinity and you are anchored into this earth, into this human vessel, both now meeting in the heart, right? So you are both and you are one for this incarnation. And then, yes, we are all one, right? So the oneness consciousness is now going to elevate. The oneness consciousness is now going to grow as you are staying connected and anchored into the higher dimensional crystalline grid, as well as through the earth grounding cord into the centerpiece of Mother Earth, meeting in the heart, which fuels the heart. Remember, the heart is the meeting point. It's the bridge. It's the bridge that bridges both parts of you, the earthly and the divine, right? And so here you're meeting in the bridge and the heart space. And this is why it's so important to have an open heart, to feel fearlessly, because as the divine being that you really are, you know that there is nothing to fear when it comes to experiences or emotions, right? It's just an illusion. And here in this open heart, you are now also able to stay connected into the oneness with every other person that is also anchored into the new earth, which means anybody who's anchored into the new earth has to have done the work, the healing, right? They are clear enough to know that they have to be grounded into Mother Earth, and they are guided enough to know that they have to stay connected into the divine selves. And they are also healed and clear enough to know that they have to take their heart space very seriously, so to not allow the ego to have any control, because ego control is not gonna work or happen anymore in this new earth crystalline grid experience. And so letting yourself connect into that, and then go ahead, and when you have your heart nice and open, see yourself interconnected through this crystalline grid with me, with any and all of the people that you imagine are there, that are also of this new earth consciousness. And again, it is very important that you pay attention to your heart, because as soon as we disconnect from the heart, and the heart wants to close because we're reacting or because we're not in the consciousness, we're not in the vibrational alignment, right? Once the heart closes, we cut off the crystalline grid. And so, of course, this is going to be us getting used to it, right? This is going to be us learning to work with it. This is going to be us learning to stay in this awareness. So for today, this is a visualization that I strongly invite for you to use daily, to work with daily, anchored through the earth grounding cord into Mother Earth, anchored through your higher chakra and higher self space into the vastness of the highest dimensions, as well as into the uterine lining or container wall, container crystalline grid, right? That you want to connect into. And then from here, both are open and through the heart, through the front side and the back side. Remember, the heart chakra opens through the front and the back side. And so see that, sense that, feel it like a spiral coming out through the front, connecting into the crystalline grid, and coming out through the backside of your chakra, also in form of a spiral and connecting into the crystalline grid. And so as more and more of us are ascending and are choosing for our light, choosing for their light, choosing for their souls, choosing from a place of rightness. And this is why the heart space has to stay open, right? Because how do we know the truth? How do we know what our soul wants? How do we know what is to our highest and greatest good if the heart is closed? We cannot know, right? We cannot know. So therefore, to stay aware of your heart, to stay aware of this open-hearted space. And like I've said before, you can take on this practice of, am I being loving? Are my thoughts loving? Are my words loving? Are my choices loving? And this doesn't mean you have to take it. No, not at all. On the contrary, mostly you being in this practice means you're feeling when something doesn't feel good to you. You feel when somebody's energy is not respectful. You feel when something is really not making you feel valued, respected, right? You feel it. And so it doesn't mean we have to be best friends with everybody. On the contrary, it is really about allowing for yourself to make sure that you maintain the most elevated relationships, the most elevated scenarios and situations. And it's okay lovingly to separate. It is okay to lovingly say no, thank you. It is okay to lovingly choose yourself. It is okay to lovingly choose for your light. It is okay for you to lovingly choose for your mission, for your purpose, for your calling, for your sense of vision and dream. And that is what you are now ready to do. This is what you being in your authority is calling you to do. So don't let your ego play tricks on you in this way, because the ego will go any which way. Remember, it'll make you feel better than or less than or blame you or blame them, right? That's what the ego does. When you're in your open heart space, you don't buy into that. You don't fuel that, right? When you're in your open heart space, you feel at peace, choosing for what is your highest truth. When you're in your open heart space, you feel trusting, right? The trust into the divine deepens tremendously. This is where trust really turns into a knowing, right? Because remember, you are anchored into the grid, into the crystalline grid, into this container, which means you are always guided. You are always one. You are always interconnected. You can so now trust your guidance. You can so now trust your visions and dreams and the new possibilities that you maybe didn't see last week, right? So new doors will continue to open. And because you are so connected and anchored in, you are this wisdom. You are this wisdom, and you feel safe in choosing high vibration, choosing resonance, right? Heart resonance. You are now feeling sovereign in your ability to choose for yourself, to manifest for yourself, to be in this alignment with your highest self, to be in this alignment with you birthing this new earth reality. You are now choosing to trust and to know and to be creator incarnate. And it's okay if you're still needing to get used to it a little bit. It's okay if you're feeling like a Bambi on wobbly legs because it all is a bit new. That's okay. That's okay. Just allow yourself to grow with it. Allow yourself to learn and deepen into the trust and make sure you work with this visual every day. So one more time, you are like a beam, like a light beam, and this is all interconnected through your spine. Remember, your spine is your center. And so here you are, the physical center, it's a beam. All of your chakras here are in your spine. And then, of course, through the base into the earth grounding cord, and through the crown into the crystalline grid, into the uterine wall or container wall, whatever you feel most comfortable with saying, and then both meet through the heart and see how this shines beautiful and bright and green, like a green spiral, just growing and glowing out through the front and through the backside. Let's not forget the backside, right? So think and see and visualize and feel yourself in this green spiral coming out through the front and the back, open and bright and glowing. And trust that whoever is also in this alignment, whoever is also in this consciousness, whoever is also choosing for their worth and their self-love and their divinity, whoever is choosing their dream and their highest vision, in the heart space, open through the heart, who's authentic, you'll see each other. You'll notice each other. You'll see and you'll feel and you'll recognize. It'll be like, recognize, right? And there are many of us already. You know, I've already had a few encounters, actually just 2 days ago, where I was in the supermarket, of all places. And then on the other day, I was hiking, and this couple was standing there with their bikes. And I saw them both looking at me. And then I, you know, as I got closer, I like saw her and I felt her, and I was like, what's up? And she's like, what's up? Right? And it was this true recognition. And so it's going to happen. It's going to happen more and more fully. So whenever you can, just come back into this visual, into this alignment. You are this beam that both parts of you, the earthly and the divine, are meeting in the heart. gorgeous emerald green glowing through the front and the backside. Know and trust that this is connecting you into the crystalline grid. And this is where so much elevation is now going to take place in your life, in your reality, in your way that you feel, in the way that you see, in the way that you experience yourself and your life, right? It's all going to shift now. It's all going to change now. And yeah, trust it. Trust it. Breathe with it, right? The old earth is right there. You're not alone. You're not lost either. Just strengthen your little Bambi legs, right? And find a stronger and stronger sense of, all right, I'm holding it now. I'm holding it now. I'm walking in it now, right? Like get used to it. Practice. Practice being in that alignment when you're in the gym. Practice being in that alignment when you're working. Practice being in that alignment when you're with the kids or on a date or with friends. Practice being in this alignment. Bring it into every moment of every day. And I am so excited, and I couldn't be more grateful for you and your time and your presence on this channel and the light that you are anchoring onto this earth plane. And as always, with love and light blessings to you and yours. Ciao for now.